Good day, everyone. I am Jomar Calapardo, the reporter of Lesson 4.3, uh, in which discusses the doctrines in taxation. So first is prospectively of tax laws. So the prospectively of tax laws refers to the principle that tax laws apply to future events or transactions after than retroactively affecting past ones. This means that the changes to tax laws typically apply to the period after they are enacted or amended, rather than the situations that occurred before the new law came effect into effect. These principles ensures fairness and predictability for taxpayers as they can adjust their behavior and financial plans based on known or future tax rules. Example, if a government passes a new tax law that increases the tax rate on corporate income, the new rate would apply to income earned from the date the law is enacted onward. It would not apply to income earned before the enactment of the law. This is an example of the prospective application of tax laws. The second one is no retroactivity of rulings. So, the no retroactivity of rulings principle means that administrative rulings or interpretations of tax laws cannot be applied to events or transactions that occurred before the ruling was issued. This protects taxpayers from being penalized for actions that were compliant order the law as it was understood at the time. Example, if the tax authority issues a ruling in 2024 interpreting a tax exemption more narrowly, this new interpretation cannot be applied to tax filings made before 2024. For instance, a company that claimed the exemption in 2023 under the old interpretation would not be penalized retroactively because the new ruling did not exist then. Doctrine of equitable recoupment. This doctrine provides that a tax claim for refund. The doctrine of equitable recoupment allows a taxpayer or the government to offset a tax employment against a related underpayment even if the claim for the overpayment is time-barred. This ensures fairness by preventing unjust enrichment or undue hardships due to strict adherence to statutes or limitations. For example, if a taxpayer overpaid income tax in 2020 but underpaid state tax on the same transaction in the same year, the overpayment can be used to offset the state tax ability, even if the deadline for claiming the overpayment refund has passed. Imprescriptively of taxes. The right to assess and to collect are imprescriptible. It refers to the principle that certain taxes, typically those established by the Constitution or specific laws, do not expire or become unenforceable over time. This means the government retains the right to collect these taxes regardless of the passage of time, unless explicitly prescribed otherwise the law. For example, in the Philippines, real property tax obligations generally do not prescribe, meaning unpaid taxes on property can still be collected even after many years, unless a specific law sets a statute of limitations. Uniformity or equitable. When we talk about uniformity in taxation, means that the tax laws must apply equally to all subjects or objects of taxation within the same class. Similarly situated taxpayers should be taxed at the same rate under similar conditions. And also, when we talk about equitability, it ensures fairness, meaning taxpayers contribute based on their ability to pay. Those with a greater income or wealth are taxed more, reflecting a progressive tax system. For example, a uniform tax law imposes the same VAT rate, example 12%, on all consumers purchasing goods. Equitability is reflected when the higher income individuals pay more income tax due to progressive tax brackets. Double taxation. It is defined as taxing the same person twice by the same jurisdiction order over the same thing. So, in double taxation, it has two kinds of double taxation, which is the obnoxious or direct or duplicate taxation. When we talk about direct duplicate taxation, it occurs when the same entity is taxed multiple times for the same income, property, or transaction by the same taxing authority without any legal basis or jurisdiction. This is often deemed unfair and contrary to tax principles as it imposes an excessive burden on the taxpayer. The second one is permissive or indirect duplicate. It refers to taxes levied or imposed on goods and services rather than directly on income or property. These taxes are passed on the consumers as part of their price of goods or services. For example, include value added tax or VAT, sales tax, and excise duties. Tax exemption. No law granting any tax exemptions shall be passed without the concurrence of a majority of all the members of the Congress. The power to exempt from taxations as well as the power to tax is an essential attribute of sovereignty and may be exercised by virtue of the Constitution expressly or by implication. So tax exemption refers to a legal provision that frees an individual, organization, or income from being subject to certain taxes, either partially or entirely. It is often granted to promote specific activities such as charitable work or to provide relief to certain groups like low-income earners or non-profit organization. So there are kinds of tax exemption. So the first is express. So in express tax exemption, it is a tax exemption explicitly granted by law or statute. It is clearly stated in the tax code or legal documents such as exemptions for a certain organization or income sources. So the next one is implied. Whenever particular persons, properties, or exercises are deemed exempt as they fall outside the scope of the taxing provision itself. So, when we talk about implied tax exemption, it is an exemption that arises from interpretation or judicial decisions rather than being explicitly stated in the law. Courts may infer exemptions based on legal principles or previous rulings. And the last one is contractual. When in consideration of contractual agreement with the government. So it is a tax exemption granted through an argument or contract between parties, such as between a business or the government and the government. This often applies to specific projects or activities that meet the terms set out in the contract. Tax avoidance. It is reducing or totally escaping payment of taxes through legally permissible means. This method should be used by the taxpayer in good faith and at arm's length. An example of which is the availing of all deductions and allowed by law or refraining from engaging in activities subject to tax. So, tax avoidance, it is legal practice of minimizing tax liabilities through strategic planning and the use of lawful methods, such as claiming deductions, credits, and structuring transactions in ways that reduce taxable income. While legal, it may be viewed as unethical if it exploits loopholes or inadequacy or undermines the intent of tax laws. Tax evasion. So tax evasion, it is a legal act of deliberately avoiding paying taxes by falsifying informations and underreporting income, inflating deductions, or hiding money. It involves intentional deception to reduce tax liability and is punishable by law. And the compensation and set-off. The compensation and set-off refers to the process of offsetting mutual debts or liabilities between two parties, such as when a taxpayer owes taxes but is also entitled to refund a credit. The amounts can be set off against each other, reducing the net liability. Tax amnesty. So when we talk about tax amnesty, it is a tax by the government program that allows taxpayers to settle past tax liabilities, usually with reduced penalties or interest in exchange for full disclosure or unpaid taxes. It aims to encourage voluntary compliance and raise revenue. Tax laws. So the following are the sources of tax laws. Constitution. So the first one is Tariff and Custom Code as amended. Republic Act 8181. Next is Local Government Code, Local Tax Ordinance, City Municipal Tax Code, tax treaties, international agreements, presidential decree, executive order, decisions of SC, CTA, and CA, revenue rules and regulations, rulings implemented by the BIR, and the last one is NIRC as amended Republic Act 10963 or Train Law. Updates of the tax law. Last December 19, 2017, the President signed into law Package 1 of the Comprehensive Tax Reform Program, also known as the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion (TRAIN), as Republic Act number 109631. The law provides for the amendments of several provisions of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997, NIRC of 1997, on personal income taxation, passive income for both individuals and corporations, state tax, donors tax, value-added tax or VAT, excise tax, documentary stamp tax, DST, and tax administration, among others.